Hello, everybody. It is the end of week 2, and last week we sat down and I talked and I set some very specific goals in my mind, and I failed all of them. And I'm trying not to be upset because objectively I won out overall, but like, it. Sometimes I just want to be able to tell myself to do something and then to do the thing, like it's so stupid because good things are happening. But sometimes I just want to be able to tell myself to do something and then do the thing instead of always needing to M. Night Shyamalan my own designs. And it's going to sound even dumber because it's really not that deep. And the thing I'm talking about is last week I talked about the shorts that I've been posting on Freakhound, the shorts that I've been posting on the main channel, and I was like, I'm really not doing enough to make this experiment really count, to make splitting the channels really count and really figure out if it's doing what I want it to be doing. I'm not doing enough. So in my head, I said, I'm going to do more this week. And then I did the same number of shorts on the main channel, and I think I have posted one time to the Freakhound channel, and I have excuses and I have rationalizations, and the overall win is that I did do more, but I did it in long form, which is not a feedback loop that my dumb little lizard hindbrain recognizes as part of our existing dopamine economy. And so I don't feel like I did anything, which is stupid. You don't have to tell me I did something. Hopefully, looking at me and watching me say this crazy thing that's making you go like, but of course you did something. You just did it in a slightly different way than you originally intended, or in a slightly different metric than you were paying attention to, will make you reflect on a way that you are succeeding in your own life that you're not giving yourself enough credit for. But that's mostly what happened. We did the reaction to the hybrid mana videos with Elk, for Trinket Mage and Blood Artist videos, and then I did the follow-up apology, non-apology video, and those two videos are already tracking to be in my top 5 long forms ever posted. So from a financial perspective, from a subscriber growth perspective, this week was worth it. This week worked. I sat down and I scripted that entire apology video Tuesday. I watched it back Thursday and didn't agree with parts of it, and so I rewrote those and refilmed it Thursday, and then I finished editing it after getting it back. I was touching up stuff after my editor gave it to me on Saturday, and then I got it posted, and it's doing really well. But I told myself I was going to post more shorts, god damn it. And I didn't, but all the shorts are doing really well too. And so I do think that this is working. I think that this is helping align me on the things that matter, because the people that watch that video, the comments, it seems like I am spurring some genuine reflection on the hybrid mana thing, and I think this style of public tete-a-tete of like, I don't want to be a fucking debate bro, but the debate bros do have sensationalism down to a science, and I do think magic content could benefit from more sensationalism, but I have to be so careful with it because it's so easy to just be like a rage baiter, to just go down the path of like Asmongold, Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, all these people who just say inflammatory, hateful shit and then let it warp them over time. And I really don't like that. So there are parts of the hybrid mana crash out and even the apology video that I still think were too harsh. I think there is a world where there's a world where this can be very funny. You guys watching it can go, ha ha ha, that guy, that idea is wrong and stupid, and let's laugh at it. But the people behind those ideas can leave the video going either, ah, shit, he got me, or this idiot flim-flammed. Now I need to make my own response video calling out the dumb thing he said in that video. And either of those would be fine. But I don't want... I genuinely don't want to bully anyone. And I do think those videos were missed the mark and were closer to bullying than they were to the good-natured, like, being bitchy haha that I wanted them to be in. But it was still good that I got them done. It was good that I got I think I scripted the follow-up video in like, I think it took like 4 hours to write the script, 1 hour to spin in my chair and think about the script, and then like another hour to film the first draft, and then maybe like another hour to rewrite and refilm. So that worked. And I got the first draft of a script about the bracket system done. So this week has been a breakthrough in terms of getting me to write and record long form videos, which is huge. I think that's been the biggest bottleneck to my content production since I started making stuff. And then on the short side, like I think this is the part where I feel like a failure. And not in the sense that I'm being too hard on myself, but in the sense that I'm being hard on myself in the wrong ways. I think it is okay to be hard on yourself. Where you want to avoid being hard on yourself is in the places where you can absorb pressure and only feel it as suffering without change. I think that leads really quickly to martyrdom. And I think a lot of us martyr ourselves to things we want to feel bad about, but like in places where it's not important that we feel bad, it's important that we change. And I don't want Freakhound to be a channel that I have to post daily to. That's the whole point of it, is it's a playground where I can post whatever I want, whenever I want. But there is the bottleneck of most of the stuff that I wanted to post this week that wasn't magic or that wasn't a green screen rant, was like a skit. And I did the car busting skit, which I thought was funny, and I filmed that because I was in a Discord talking to Trinket Mage, and he was like, yeah, I can't take the word bust seriously anymore. And I was like, that's funny. And I immediately wrote a joke about it and filmed it. Was the skit that good? No, but it made me giggle, and it made at least like 5 other people in the world giggle, so it was worth doing. And all the other ones are skits like that, but really, like, I needed a table, and we're moving, so I don't have a table in my life. It's not full of shit. And I felt bad all week about not getting those videos done, when 2 minutes of feeling bad enough to set up a table to film it would have solved this entire problem. So fucking like so in the same sense of I would love for this to be a space where we can on a weekly basis talk about the things we have done or the things we have not done. I think an important lesson is be hard on yourself, but only apply the pressure in places where it's actually going to break through and get you to do something different. I didn't need to be hard on myself about feeling like I was letting myself down creatively. I needed to be hard on myself for like the 5 minutes of, oh, if you just take all the stuff off this table, if you just rebuild one of the tables we broke down for the move, like you'll have it done. And I know that I do that to myself a bunch of different ways every single day. I'm sure you all do too. And like, this was a good week. It would have been a better week if I had done that. And I'm sure the next week is going to be even better. I'm going to get better at applying these skills. But like, God, that's stupid. God, our brains are so dumb and will hold us back in the most idiotic ways because we get so wrapped up in our own suffering, and we get so wrapped up in the idea that bad actions should lead to suffering rather than leading to change. Even when the bad actions aren't bad. Like, there's obviously big bad stuff in the world where you deserve to fucking suffer. Don't get that twisted. But I'm talking about on like a daily basis where we bully ourselves for not being dedicated enough, for not being effortful enough. It's so much pressure in the parts of our ego that can take it and not change, and then we can feel like a good person because we felt like a bad person, instead of just, pushing the Jenga block in the spot that will get you to stand up, take a shower, wash your hair, go for a run. And then the the less fucking deep reflection part of the week that this has turned into is I have a friend who's in law school, and this was his like only week off. First week off in like 4 months that he's been at law school, and he's not gonna have another week off for like months and months and months because it's law school. And so we've been playing a lot of League this week too. I absolutely could have gotten more shorts done this week, whether it's for the main channel or for the Freakhound channel, if I wasn't playing League of Legends with him. But we had an excellent time. And that is another thing that I'm going to try to hold in my heart and cement as a really positive thing, because if I think about the dream, getting everything I want, part of everything I want is the time to go play games with my friends when I can. And that's something I already have. And so I think there were times during this week I saw that as a detraction from what I was doing or from my dream, when in reality that's part of my dream. And so maybe that's another thing it might be helpful for you to reflect on as well. Where are you, where are you wasting time or kicking yourself for wasting time in places where it was you living the life you wanted the space to live in the first place? Whenever you set yourself on the path of whatever difficult thing you wanted to do, whatever improvisational, that's not the right word. I have this happen all the time, by the way. My God, I know so many words, picking the right ones for a certain situation can just get so fucking onerous. It's really obstreperous of me. See? Got him again. So, I don't think what has to change is video scheduling. I do think my thumbnails need a little bit more work. Look at this shit, you guys. It's fine. I like this title, though. This title's gold. Same here. But I can make these in like 10 minutes, and I think that's another important part of it. So I'm very glad that these videos got made. I'm very glad that these videos have spurred reflection in me and that they're going to cause me to act different. The shorts are mostly kicking. The worst one is Iroh. I thought this one was funny. I'm gonna have to go back and look at this one, because it's like, it's doing fine, but compared to all the other ones, doing way, way worse. Look at Azula. Look at Azula doubling this poor man up. Look at Kodos and Jin Gataxis. Actually, he's gonna pass Wilson, so like. But the experiment this week is also continuing to work on the short side. I think it is now like basically guaranteed that everything's going past a 250,000. Wilson will be there in a few days. You're doing your best, buddy. You're doing your very best. That's pretty good. That's really pretty good. So most of what I'm taking away from this week is I gotta stop bullying myself generically. It's okay to apply pressure to myself. There's a limit to the amount of healthy pressure that can be applied to oneself, but it just doesn't do anything to apply pressure in the sense of be a better person. It only makes sense to apply pressure in the sense of do this different thing, which for me is cleaning off a desk so I can film videos for a channel I call Freakhound, which is maybe not as deep as that sentence sounded in the first half. But I'm going to urge all of you to do the same thing. Tell me, what have you gotten done this week to chase your dream? What's something you're going to be easier on yourself about in the ways that matter and harder on yourself about in the ways that matter? Because I'm going to be harder on myself about if I am lacking a set piece, if I am lacking a like physical stage to do my thing on, how can I make that happen in 5 minutes? And if I can make it happen in 5 minutes, why am I worrying about it? So as always, I hope my musings help some of you. I hope it leaves you with a better understanding of perhaps why this channel had no fucking posts on it this week, but the main channel did pretty well. And I hope you have a good Sunday.